Call this regular meeting to order. Call roll.
Mayor Querum.
Here.
Councilmember Newman.
Here.
Gomez.
Here.
McCransky.
Here.
McCall.
Here.
Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, get started tonight. We have public comment. Just need your name, Dane, and go for it.
You want to turn the mic on again on top there, Dane?
Gotcha. Dane Steyer, good to see all of you again. Just wanted to real quickly do a follow-up from 2 weeks ago when Kelsey and I were here. We thought after we had the meeting, it might be good for you guys to have some visuals of how the building currently looks at that entrance to help in as you're evaluating our proposal. So I'm just going to hand these off. And I'll just real quick explain. I think it's very easy to get caught up in the canopy aspect of our proposal. Even for us, it's a very nice feature to us, but that's not the main reason why we came with that 2 weeks ago. Really, the main reason is the handicap accessibility. So my hope is that these visuals will help you understand a little bit more of the route that we wanted to go with that. You'll see on the first page, as we mentioned last time, there are currently 4 steps up into that entrance. There's not enough room to add a ramp right into that. So what that means is we need to bring that landing at the top out. So bringing that out into the sidewalk shifts the sidewalk out, shifts the steps out, and then of course the need for the ramp as well. On the second page, I also just wanted to point out, as you look from left to right on that building, it seems very slight, but there's definitely a decline from left to right. So it makes a lot more sense for us to put the ramp on the left side, so it's not fighting against that. It takes a lot of space for that elevation to go up, so our feeling is that it really has to go to the left. Excuse me. And then going to the third page, that just kind of further shows that some more. And then lastly, I wanted to point out on the last page, it's a little more of an aerial view of where that, if you look at that bottom left picture, that's kind of from right above that entrance. So going out from that entrance, if we were to put a canopy, bring that landing out, it's going right there between the second and third parking space. So in our mind, as we were planning this, it's affecting those spaces. It's probably affecting the one to the left of that as well. If you're putting the ramp off to the right, it's affecting those spaces. And so we feel like the canopy idea, taking all those out, trying to shift them to the other side of the street is a much better solution than maybe losing 3 or 4 spots.
And that canopy is not, when you look at these stripes on that bottom left-hand picture, the canopy isn't coming out much further than the edge of end of those stripes.
No, it's really not. And looking at the bottom right, it's really just kind of bringing that landing out on those steps that is kind of causing it to come out further than, would be ideal. But the canopy is really not going that far into the street.
Well, I'm not so much here, Dane. Your door is staying in place. You're not moving the door out to the surface.
No, the door would stay where it is so that it has appropriate room to swing without hitting anybody on the landing.
And the ramp is how wide? Is it 4 feet?
4 feet. Yep.
So how much sidewalk does that leave us next to it?
I was trying to judge that from this drawing, and I think what they did was left that blank for now as something that could be, we could figure out as we go into that planning stage.
Yeah.
I think the depot committee and you should get together and have a discussion about, the entire project. I know Tom's
I'll get with you tonight, Tom. Maybe we can have some more conversation about that too.
Yeah.
But just wanted to offer this, and any questions, you know where to find me.
Okay.
Would the canopy cover the entire, all the steps, the 3 steps on 3 sides of the canopy?
It would, it would cover about half of those steps. So as it goes down the side, it would lose that coverage.
Okay.
Anything else from the council?
Right.
Okay,
Thank
thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Just need your name.
David Turpin. I own a septic pumping business, and the city has shut me down from dumping. And I was wondering if they came up with a resolution yet to when we're gonna be able to start dumping again.
Well, I think they might be working on a possible,
They have not come up with a solution. They're still working on a solution.
How long do you think that's gonna take?
I don't know.
All right. It's, as a pumper, we have the right to land apply. But when weather turns sour, we have to dump somewhere. Now, I bought a permit to dump in this town till next April. And in that permit, it didn't say that they could shut me down. Now, I understand that they had, a line had plugged up and it was jetted. And a blanket was removed from it and shop towels. My truck cannot suck up a blanket. So that's why I'm sitting right now with a truck full, which I could probably land apply somewhere and keep track of the records. And I know that the county health department's involved with this. But I just want to get some idea of when we're going to be able to start dumping back in Princeton again.
isn't this part of the problem? I mean, we don't monitor who goes out there at any given time.
It's all on our system.
It's an honor system, and that's kind of the what the issue's been. So I think that's what the solution, if there's going to be a solution, that's where it's going to be, what it's going to be addressing going forward.
Right.
But we've got I know that Tim Forstall is working on it. And,
Well, that's another thing, because he can't seem to return a phone call. You know, that might help a little bit. Because I've called him twice now and left messages. So,
Well, we'll get that phone call returned tomorrow.
all right, thank you.
Sure. Okay. Thanks, Dave. Any other public comment? Okay, we'll go to the approval of minutes. Commissioner Newman.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that we approve the minutes from our regular council meeting on October 18th, 2021.
Second.
Motion's been second. Any comments? Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye. Now we'll go to approval of invoices and City Clerk Nelson.
In the Department of Accounts and Finances for this period, we have invoices totaling $562,633.12. In the Department of Streets and Public Improvements, we have invoices totaling $141,279.43. In the Department of Public Safety, we have invoices totaling $106,202.38. And in the Department of Public Property and Utilities, we have invoices totaling $298,540.29, for a grand total of $1,108,655.22. Mayor, all council members present have confirmed their reviews of all invoices and now are submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve the invoices as presented.
Second.
Motion's been second. Comments? Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCransky.
Ayes.
McCall.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye. Thank you, Pete. Now we'll go to regular business with City Clerk Nelson.
Okay, next on the agenda is ordinance O-21-025. This is an ordinance authorizing participation in the Renewable Energy Credit Purchase Program through the Illinois Municipal Electric Agency. This is the first reading. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this ordinance and it is submitted for disposition.
I move that we advance ordinance O-21-025 to the second reading.
Second.
Motion's been second. Teresa?
I will call Jeff up to discuss this one in the most simplistic way.
Sure, sure. And I do believe Pete sent everyone the information. I don't know if everybody had a chance to look at it or not, but just a simple explanation of the program is if a City of Princeton customer would like to use green power without putting up solar or a windmill or something like that, they can purchase these RECs. And it's the same thing as, I mean, you can say you're using green power. Well, these RECs are generated from green power.
Oh, okay.
So as the power is produced, they generate these RECs, and then they can be for sale, and you can purchase them. The program will offer two different options. You have a Tier 1 or a Tier 2. Tier 1 is Illinois-based green power. Tier 2 is nationwide, and there is a price difference. The Illinois ones are slightly more expensive than the nationwide, but you are supporting Illinois green power.
And where do the customers purchase these RECs?
They would actually talk to me. We fill out the order form based on what percentage of their typical yearly usage would be. And then I turn that order form into IMEA. They purchase them. They basically, they tell us what the price is. We invoice the customer, and that's kind of the end of it till the end of the year.
Is there a limited or unlimited supply of RECs out there, or?
There probably is, but there's plenty out there to buy.
Okay.
And a customer can purchase anywhere from 1% to 100% of what their yearly usage is. And also, as a city, if we decide we want to purchase 10% green power for the city usage, we can do that also. Or we can just leave it to the customers to make the choice.
And then we would pass that on to the customers, whatever the city purchase.
It would probably just come off of our top line, unless we figured out a way of adding it into
Yeah.
our
I was
costs.
going to say, when citizens decide to purchase any of these, would it be something as a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year contract, or monthly basis, or if there's anything like that that's associated
It's
with?
yearly.
Okay.
And then at the end of the year, and it typically is going to go by calendar year. There could be a true up. You know, you either purchase too many or not enough. So you could either have to pay a little bit more, or you might end up with a credit.
Is our target audience our business customers, our larger business customers in town, or?
We actually have one of the industrial customers that has approached us before we even, or before we were talking about this program, but they came to us before we announce it, obviously. So they're probably going to move forward with it.
Our earlier discussion about the solar array, that doesn't have any direct effect on this, does it?
No, but
Okay.
that would be a system that would generate RECs.
Sure, okay.
All the cost is on the customer who's purchasing this, not the city, right?
Correct.
Basically,
There would be slight labor, to invoice the customer, but
yeah, but
nothing.
as the power
nothing
itself,
major, yeah.
Okay.
And the revenue that you're invoicing gets passed through to an IMEA
Yeah,
location?
that purchased the RECs.
Okay.
Yep.
Customers see a cost savings to them over a year's time.
No, it would actually
Be the
cost
same.
them slightly more.
Okay. It's just the idea that they're
They can
They're
say they're using green power.
green power completely, up to
Yep.
100%, or
Yep.
whatever percent they choose.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Are
Yeah,
there,
if you don't want to spend the 20, 30, 40,000 to put solar on your house, you
Yeah.
can do this.
Yeah.
For a typical residential customer, it's probably going to be about 30 to 40 bucks a year.
Well, like you said, it's the same thing. As though you had solar, if you had a solar on your roof, and you're, using that to power your home,
Yes.
this would be the same thing, without the solar, without going to that expense.
You'd be using green power, whereas the solar, your cost from the city is going to be less whatever you generate from the solar.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And what's the guarantee as far as if somebody actually using the green power and somebody using fossil fuels, whether it be coal or nuclear energy? How can you actually determine that? Is there specific lines that actually?
It all goes on the grid, the national grid. But like I said, by buying these RECs, that means you paid for that green power. Now, it's not necessarily green power going to your house,
What
but
you're
it's
purchasing.
going on the grid.
It's so, like if 40% of the residents from Princeton purchase it, 40% of the power that's coming into the grid would be green generated power. the 60% will be coming out of regular coal or nuclear.
On paper, yes,
Yeah.
that would be true.
Okay.
But it kind of depends on where you live. You know, if we lived in the middle of a wind farm, what you're saying is probably true. Because when you go on the grid, you don't know where those electrons are going.
Right. It's all part of the distribution.
Right.
Jeff, is a company like LCN obligated to set a goal for RECs for renewable
Totally
energy?
up to each individual customer, residential,
Okay.
commercial,
So
industrial.
there's no federal
mandates
agency?
out there at this
Okay,
point.
all right,
Yeah.
okay.
This is all completely voluntary.
Anything else from the council? Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Purchase these RECs, even though you don't have the solar, does that give you now the tax credit on your house or when you're doing your income taxes?
No, because you're not physically putting the solar on your house.
Doesn't matter. You say I can buy these and pay for it just like I have it. So why would I not get the 30% tax credit to my house then?
Because it's not on your house.
I would
Yeah,
actually have to
'cause-
investigate that, but there's never been any mention about getting the tax credit by buying a REC.
It's probably because,
Panels up, I get a tax credit.
You do.
yeah,
So now if I buy a REC, it's the same thing.
Different, it's a different.
it's not
program.
physically
But
within your
tax
property.
credit would actually go to the producer. Green power on the grid right now. Doesn't give you a tax credit when you use that. Right. I mean, I'll look into that.
Yeah, Jeff will look into it, but, no. Yeah. Anything else from the council? All right, thanks, Jeff.
Okay.
So the motion has been seconded. Any additional comments from the council? Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is resolution R-21-022. This is a resolution in support of local Amtrak train routes. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this resolution and it is submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve resolution R-21-022.
Second.
Motion's been second. Pete, you want to say a few words?
This Wednesday marks the anniversary of Amtrak, the development of Amtrak and the establishment of Amtrak train routes in the state of Illinois and actually nationwide. This Wednesday, there's going to be a train on the Illinois Zephyr, which comes in about 8:30 every morning. There'll be a few dignitaries there from Amtrak, and also some of the mayors from Quincy, Galesburg, Macomb, Kewanee, Princeton, to mark the occasion for the 50th anniversary. And this resolution is basically a document to support the fact that there's been enough legislative support over the last 50 years that this part of the state and country has enjoyed Amtrak service. And we just want to recognize that. And we're hopeful that they'll do that for the next 50 years, at least. So the ordinance is just showing that we are grateful for the Amtrak service. And we don't take it for granted, but we're glad that the legislatures have continued to support the Amtrak train routes through this part of Illinois and this part of the country.
Any comments from the council? Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye. Thank you, Pete. Now I'll go city manager report.
In your package, you have the fire pension monthly report for September 2021. If there's any questions on that. Biggest thing I want to talk about tonight is, and actually Dane, I'm glad you're here. We need to get letters of support for the depot project that we are applying for, about 2.8 million for that project up there for the parking lot. I talked a little bit about it at the last meeting or the previous meeting before that, but We do have a canned letter to go out to some of the businesses, to the residents, just to have letters submitted supporting the project. And the letter that I have outlines what should be touched on in the letter. Historic nature of the project, the historic preservation is a big thing. Connecting multimodal transportation is a big thing. Actually, this thing that's happening Wednesday is a huge component that should actually be put in this grant. Just the tourism aspect of that project, that's what we really need to highlight on, and we really need to make the project stand out. So for 2.8 million, we really need to show that it's a good project. So I'm going to have a couple copies of the letter up here. Dane, if you would like to take one, I'd love to get one from you. If anybody has a business or an organization that you think should submit a letter, please let me know so we can get a request out to them. And if you are here and you want to submit a letter, let me know. I'd love to have a huge amount of those letters to go in. So any questions on that?
You know, these letters, you know, these are everything that we want to cover, although you can put them in your own words, so it doesn't look like it's, they don't.
Actually, there's not a template for the letter, and I think sometimes that does scare people, but just put your own words into it and why it's a great project and why it needs to happen. Any questions, though? I mean, I do need to have should mention by probably November 15th, so prior to our next meeting. If we do get a couple days later, that's fine. We're going to submit the application before Christmas, so.
But we can do this via email to
Yes.
NCICG?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Couple of other items I have real quick.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I want to give a heads up that we will be posting for a position in then probably about the next week for a planning and zoning administrator. And all the details will obviously be on our website, and we'll put a blast out about this as well. But basically, it'll be to perform or assist the city with planning and zoning related responsibilities, responsible for professional, administrative, and technical work that includes but not limited to enforcement of city codes, zoning administration, planning review, and special project management. We did have somebody in this position a few years back. There's a huge demand for this type of work right now, and we need to get somebody in there to fill this role. So just keep your eyes open. If you know somebody, point them in our direction. We'd love to get the job description to them and kind of get this process rolling. So I'd like to have applications in by mid-December, actually, for this. So last point I want to make, I did get a update from Quint on Park Avenue West. All storm sewer connections are hooked up. Superior will be cleaning up tomorrow and will have the road closed. After tomorrow, the road will be open moving forward. The road will remain open as Advance is doing their work along with the curb crew. Flaggers will be present with Advance. The curb crew will start this week with Advanced Asphalt coming in next week. The time frame on the landscaping is yet to be determined. That's going towards the ponds and stuff, so that may be a little bit later. But just so you guys know when the roads are going to be open. It did have a little bit of a delay because of the weather. We did have a little bit of a water main issue this morning, but that has been resolved as well. Any questions on that?
Okay. Thanks, Teresa. Couple things from me. The free registry of chickens closes on Friday, November 19th at 1:30 p.m. How many have we had so far? So we've had, I believe, 5 have registered thus far. Again, November 19th at 1:30. Going forward from that date and time. Again, this is going to be a complaint-driven ordinance, but anyone that we get a complaint on and we investigate and we find that they're in violation of the ordinance, there will be no warnings given. They will be fined. This date will also include everybody who has any poultry or any fowl other than chickens. Chickens are the only thing allowed, and that's by those who have chickens currently. So that date also signifies those who have other fowl will have to have new homes for them by then. And then we have an appointment.
I move that we appoint Eric May as hearing officer for administrative adjudication.
Second.
Motion's been second. Comments? Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye. Any old business tonight? Any new business? Any public comment? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn and reconvene.
I move that we adjourn our regular meeting this evening, reconvene on Monday, November 15th, 2021, 7 p.m. at City Hall.
Second.
Motion's been second. Call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye. This meeting is adjourned, and thank you all for attending.